Hi there, welcome to Kneppy Invest. Time for my weekly technical update. And in this video series, I primarily focus on ASX companies, and that's no different today. Now, I did a technical update 2 days ago, but that was focusing on the NASDAQ because of what happened overnight, because CPI numbers were a little bit lower than expected. And I think the market has really overreacted to that news. I think in a month's time, there's a definite possibility that CPI numbers will be higher than expected, and then the market will absolutely tank. But the market did rally, NASDAQ up 7.5% on the back of that. And in today's video, I'm going to be featuring Core Lithium and 6 other ASX companies whose charts are looking fairly interesting right now. Also give a bit of an update, not a bit of an update, a definite update to copper. Now, in last week's technical update, I focused on copper because we had a fairly significant update in copper prices, up over 7% in one day, which was significant on really high volume. That was a potential breakout, and I think we can confirm that copper is breaking out. And that actually is fairly important because copper is typically used as a gauge for the health of the economy. So the market might be thinking right now that even though we are expected to go into a recession, particularly in America, less likely here, that maybe the recession won't be very long lasting, or maybe the market is expecting that the Fed, reserve banks will step in and they will issue a lot of stimulus. So I think the market is expecting this, and that's why we have seen a breakout in copper. Now that's negating the news, ignoring the news about possible happenings in China in regards to COVID-19, and they're going to be less restrictive in terms of locking their cities down. And that would be good news for China, good news for the economy. And that's another reason we have seen copper go on a bit of a run. But today's focus will be on Core Lithium and the 6 other ASX companies. And those 6 other ASX companies include AMP, AMA Group, Neuren Pharmaceuticals. I'm a little bit biased with Neuren Pharmaceuticals. That's an awesome looking chart. But again, I am biased because I am a shareholder of that company. Findi, Ora Banda. I don't know much about Ora Banda, apart from they are a gold exploring company. However, the chart does look interesting, and the share price of that company has moved into an uptrend. And DDH1 Drilling. I have had a few requests in regards to that company, and it does look like there is potential that company share price is about to break out. Not confirmed. I'm just saying it's about to break out. So let's have a look at Core Lithium first. Now, I'm not a shareholder of Core Lithium. However, even though I'm not a shareholder of this company, doesn't mean I can't appreciate what's happening with the chart and the share price. Now, Core Lithium has a market cap about $3 billion. Is not in production yet. However, I have heard they're about to go into production or within the next 6 months or so, which is actually really good news for this company, because if you are a lithium explorer, you want to get into production as soon as possible to take advantage of these really good prices in lithium. Because even though I am actually really bearish about the long-term future of lithium, because I think there's going to be a flood of supply eventually, in the short term, maybe in the medium term, I am quite bullish. And I have thought about taking some more positions in lithium companies. I do own 2 lithium producers, or actually explorers right now, but I would like to own a lithium producer just so I'm owning a company that has the ability to take advantage of lithium prices right now. Now, in saying that, Core Lithium chart looks really interesting right now. I have put 2 lines here. The first line, which is a sloping upwards line, is the trend for Core Lithium. And this is a pretty solid trend. The reason I'm saying it's pretty solid trend is because every single time Core Lithium share price hits this uptrend, we see it bounce off. So the more times the share price of Core Lithium hits this uptrend, the more strong it gets. And right now, that uptrend is around about $1.07, and the share price of Core Lithium is well above that uptrend. However, the horizontal dashed line at the top of the chart is a resistance level. We have seen Core Lithium share price hit that level 3 times in the past. In fact, 3 times this year, back in April, and then 2 times once in August and again in September. And right now, at the end of trading on the 11th of November, Core Lithium share price is right bang on that resistance level. We did see a little bit of selling coming in during the day to send the share price right on that level. And what we want to see is a share price to get above and remain above that resistance level. So then it becomes supply. So if you are bullish about the future of core lithium, now could be a good time to either add to your position or buy your initial position. And if the share price then falls below this resistance line, then that would be sort of a sell signal. And then hopefully the share price would move back towards the uptrend line. But right now, I think it could go either way. Now, in saying that, the NASDAQ was up something like 2% overnight. So there is potential, I think, on Monday, the share price of core lithium will get above and stay above this resistance line. And then, of course, it becomes support. So right now, a very interesting time for core lithium moving forward. Next company I'll look at is probably a company not many viewers of this channel have heard of, and that is Findi. Now, I know this company as Vortiv, Vortiv. They actually at one point in time was known as TSI International something. A few years ago, they did own this 25% of this ATM machine in India. Then they bought this cybersecurity company, and then they sold the cybersecurity company within like a year or 2 years of buying it. And then because they sold it, I think they did sell it at a profit. And then because they sold it at a profit, they gave a lot of cash back to their shareholders in terms of a special dividend. And then they increased their stake in that ATM business in India. So this is an ATM business. However, looking at their website, they are trying to diversify into digital payments in India. And of course, we all know India has a very large population. Wouldn't be surprised at all to see the economic growth of India to really accelerate over the next, say, 5 to 20 years, and maybe this company can take advantage. The other really interesting thing about this company is the valuation. $20 million market cap. However, there is potential that this company could generate a lot of cash flow over the next few years. So there is that potential. This company is really undervalued for that potential of cash flow. But I am looking a little bit ahead of myself. That's only potential. I'm going to have to take a closer look at this company because it is looking interesting. And there is potential. The market is thinking like I am, that there is that potential because we have seen the share price of Fendi break out in the last 2 trading days. There was a nice little resistance level, which I haven't portrayed here, at 55 cents because the last highs we saw back in August, it reached 55 cents and then we saw it pull back. And then it hovered just under 55 cents for 4 trading days. And then on the 10th of November, we saw the share price break out above 55 cents on large volume. And that's exactly what you want to see when you do a counter or breakout. You want it to accompany that breakout. You want it to coincide with really large volume or high volume. And that's exactly what we saw here. And then it continued into the next day, not quite as large volume as the previous day, but the share price did increase to over 60 cents. So it does look like Fendi share price is breaking out. Looks like the share price is moving into an uptrend. We are seeing a higher high, higher low. So all the signs are there for Fendi share price to go higher from here. Now on to AMP. Now, I would call AMP a very, 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 very low quality company on the ASX. Now, even though it's a very, 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 very low quality company, doesn't mean you can't take an advantage of any shifts in sentiment in the company's share price. And that's exactly what's happening to AMP now. I have done this a few times over the past 3 years, taken advantage of a shift in sentiment or a run in the share price, an uptrend in the share price of a company I would consider low quality, maybe not as low quality as AMP, but there is potential that maybe the management of this company are turning things around. Maybe that is what the market is thinking right now because the share price has broken out. In fact, it broke out about 2 weeks ago. I just wasn't paying any attention to this company because I really haven't paid attention to this company in the past. And really, yesterday or today was the first time I've taken a look at the AMP chart for a long time. But this is a definite breakout because there was a nice resistance level at about $1.21. And the reason that was a really strong, nice resistance level, you can just see the share price hit that level about 3 times in the past, say, 6 or 7 months, and then pull back. So the first time was back in May, second time was in August, the third time was in September. And then 2 weeks ago, the share price broke above that resistance line on strength. You can't really see the volume here because it's fairly low, but there was high volume accompanying that breakout. And that's exactly what you want to see. But not only that, the share price has remained or kept on going up from there. And that's actually a good sign. The share price of this company has now definitely moved into an uptrend, and the sentiment is a little bit higher, stronger for this company right now, even though it is regarded as a very low quality company on the ASX. And I might be even thinking about taking a position in this company to take advantage of that really strong sentiment in this company at this point in time, because who knows, maybe AMP will come out with a profit upgrade in the next few weeks, and that would really excite the market, in my opinion. Next company I want to look at is AMA Group. And just like AMP, there has been a definite shift in sentiment in this company. Now, AMA Group, just like AMP, I would consider a fairly low quality company. So AMA Group is all about car repair and all that sort of thing. So fairly low margins in this sort of business. And the share price has been in a downtrend, or was in a downtrend. And the share price high for this company was about 1 year ago in November last year. When I say high, I'm meaning the 1 year share price. And the share price for this company was about 85 cents. And the share price kept on going down in a well-defined downtrend. A nice downtrend line can be drawn, and that downtrend line has been broken. Not only has it been broken, we have seen the two moving averages converge together, and now the shorter term moving average has moved above the longer term moving average. So sort of like a golden cross, call it what you will, and that is called a golden cross when you have the moving average crosses like we are seeing here. Not only have we seen the moving averages cross over, that downtrend line has been broken, and we have moved to a newer high. So the share price has moved above the previous high we saw in late September. So this company's share price and chart is looking quite bullish right now. Share price has moved into an uptrend, a little bit more positive sentiment in this company. The only thing I'd like to see is a little bit more volume. So that's probably the only negative in regards to this chart, but it is definitely looking bullish. Now, definitely not the sort of company you probably want to own for the long term, because it is low quality. But just because it is low quality doesn't mean you can't take advantage of this shift in sentiment and the shift in the trend of the share price, which has now gone from a downtrend into an uptrend. Next company is DDH1 Drilling. Now, I don't know much about this company, but I'm assuming that this company is a mining services company focused on drilling. And there's quite a few drilling companies on the ASX. I can think of at least 5 right now. And to be honest with you, if you took a look at the valuation of these drilling companies, they don't look that stretched. In fact, I think there might be a lot of value, particularly if mining companies decide they have to start spending money to find new mining sites, to explore a little bit more, because we have seen a dearth of that over the past 10 years. And that could be a problem for the world at large, because we still need new mining deposits found. And that would be beneficial for companies like DDH1 Drilling. Now, I don't think this company has been long on the ASX, so maybe just over a year, maybe 2 years, and the share price was in a downtrend, falling from about $1.25 in September of last year down to as low as 62.5 cents back in June, July of this year. However, it looks like the sentiment is starting to shift around. Share price is moving up. Maybe, just maybe this point in time, we are starting to see a shift from a downtrend into an uptrend. The first thing we have got is a higher low. The next one we want to see is a higher high. Not only do you want to see a higher high, the share price right now at the end of trading on the 11th of November is right at the old highs we saw back in September. So the share price moves above about 92 cents. That will be a bullish move. And I'd like to see that again accompanied with really good high volume. And if we do see the share price get to say 95, 98 cents, that would be the higher high we are looking for. And no doubt we also see a crossover in the moving averages. So we get that golden cross, and that would be a bullish sign for DDH1 Drilling. So this is starting to look a little bit more interesting. We don't have the breakout just yet. So a potential breakout, and I think we might see that breakout on Monday, the 14th of November. Now, the next company I know nothing about, Orabanda Mining. I do know this is a gold exploring company. I wanted to include a gold company in today's video. So I was thinking of Northern Star, I was thinking of Perseus Mining, which is looking really good right now. I think, in fact, Perseus Mining share price might be at a record high. A few other mining companies are looking pretty interesting right now, but definitely Northern Star, Perseus are looking the best. Capricorn Metals is looking pretty good right now. But when you look at Orabanda Mining, we have seen a shift in sentiment. In fact, that shift in sentiment occurred about 3 or 4 months ago, back in August. You saw the share price in a really good downtrend, and then all of a sudden, the share price started going higher. We saw a crossover in the moving averages. We saw the high highs, higher lows. That's the sort of thing you want to see when you are looking at an uptrend. And Ora Banda Mining has been in an uptrend, or the share price has been in an uptrend over the last 3 or 4 months. So when you take a look at the last 3 and 4 months, this is probably the most bullish gold company on the ASX, because the majority of other gold companies on the ASX, both explorers and producers, are still in downtrends. So even though share price of those companies has rallied over the last week or so, they're still in downtrends. And Orabanda Mining share price has been an uptrend for about 3 to 4 months. So maybe this company has released some really positive news to the market. However, in saying that, we haven't seen really big volume over the last 3 or 4 months. So that's that's an interesting aspect for this company. So right now, share price is just hanging around 8.5 cents. We have seen the share price reach 8.5 cents twice in the past month. So we'd like to see the share price get above that level, get to 9 cents to continue this uptrend in the share price we have seen over the last 3 to 4 months. The last ASX company I want to show you, I'm a little bit biased about. I am a shareholder of this company. I've been a shareholder of this company for almost 1 year. I bought in Neuren Pharmaceuticals on the breakout in December last year. So even though the share price rose about 100% in 1 day, this was probably one of the most no-brainer buys I have made for a few years, because of that particular reason of that breakout was an absolutely stunning announcement. That's why share price rose over 100% in 1 day. A lot of investors won't buy into a company when a share price rises 100% in 1 day, but this was company making news. And that's why the share price has continued to climb. In fact, the share price has more than doubled. It's almost tripled since that breakout. So even though it increased 100%, you're still seeing the share price go up. So this is one of the best charts on the ASX, apart from maybe coal companies. Although, have a look at coal companies' charts over the past few weeks. It does look, it's beginning to look a little bit bearish. Maybe I should have included a coal company chart in this. It is starting to look bearish. The reason coal companies' charts are starting to look bearish is because coal prices have started to plummet. So maybe now is the time to get out of your coal companies. However, in saying all that, Neuren Pharmaceuticals, this chart does look so bearish. And then on the 11th of November, the share price of this company rose something like 9%. Overall, really positive sentiment in the overall market. And that was beneficial for companies like Neuren Pharmaceuticals, all-time high for the share price. Everything you want to see in a chart is there for Neuren Pharmaceuticals. Uptrend. There's no breakout in the share price because the share price just keeps on increasing. All-time high, and that all-time high was accompanied again by a really large volume. Now, probably, even though I did mention that the company making news was in December last year, the real important news will be in March of next year, when they will get FDA approval for their what's the company that will be selling their drug in America? I forget what it's called, but they get double-digit royalties, and they will get, based off the revenue generated in the United States, they will get upwards of $350 million. So this company will be generating a lot of cash over the next few years if they do get FDA approval. And I think all signs are pointing they will definitely get that FDA approval. Now let's close on copper, give a bit of an update to copper. But 1 week ago, this was copper, the copper chart. And we saw a really big day for copper with pretty big volume. So the largest volume we have seen for over a year. And the price of copper was up 7.57% on this day. And actually, if you actually to look at the high for the day, or the close of the day, and just go sideways, you can see back in, would have been back about 3 or 4 months ago, the price of copper was sort of going sideways. So this was a nice little resistance level for copper, and we needed to see copper prices move above this little resistance level. And by how did copper prices get above this little resistance level? So let's have a look at the updated chart for copper. And let's finish this video on copper, a bit of an update to copper. So 1 week ago, we saw that really big update where copper prices rose 7.57% in 1 day on really large volume. And this is the very definition of a breakout. There was also a symmetrical triangle, and symmetrical triangles tend to be fairly neutral. So you want to see where the breakout or which way the breakout happens. Will it break out to the upside or will it break it out to the downside? And for copper, it broke out of this symmetrical triangle to the upside. Not only that, the price of copper went to a fairly nice little resistance level. And then over the next 2 days after that potential breakout, the copper prices remained going, or just went sideways. And then 3 days ago, we saw the copper prices really break out. So this was confirmation that this was a breakout in copper. And then yesterday, on the 11th of November, copper prices rose another 4.14%. The last time copper prices were this high was actually way back in July. So not that long ago, but you can see back in June, July, how much the copper prices fell. They fell from $4.50 all the way down to $3.25 in about 1 month or maybe 2 months of trading. So it does look like this is the breakout in copper we have all been waiting for. Now, I am really bullish about the long-term future of copper. I think the market is underappreciating how much copper we're going to need in the future, particularly in electric vehicles. And really, there's going to be a potential for significant undersupply in copper. I have read some people dismiss those concerns about undersupply, but I think based off how major mining companies are looking at copper, including BHP. So BHP is wanting to get into copper. They've made a bid for Oz Minerals, and this is one of their focuses. So they're focusing on copper, apart from iron ore, of course. They're focusing on copper and nickel. And the reason they're focusing on copper and nickel is because of electric vehicles. And the amount of copper needed for electric vehicles absolutely dwarfs the amount of lithium needed. And that is the thing that I think the majority or a lot of the market is missing right now. That's all I have for this technical update, 13th of November, 2022, focusing on Core Lithium and 6 other companies on the ASX, also giving a bit of an update to copper. If you have any thoughts, any concerns, if you totally disagree with me about anything I've said in this video, if you think AMP is a really high quality company, I'd love to hear why you think AMP is a really high quality company. So leave that in the comment section of this video, and possibly if your reasoning is very well founded, maybe my opinion will change towards yours. I doubt that would happen because I still think AMP is a really low quality company, but maybe you know a little bit more than I do. Maybe you know the management, maybe you work with AMP and you can see things changing in that organization. So anyway, leave any thoughts in the comment section of this video. Otherwise, I'm not a financial advisor. If you do need financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who is qualified and can speak to your own financial needs. That's it for this video. Have a good day. Bye.